And
Okay,
we're live.
before we do that...
No, we're live.
Oh, well, then.
Jester, keep talking.
I was going to see. Well, I screwed up with a few... Yeah, I've screwed with a few things in the settings, so...
I can still hear me, though.
Welcome to the Netchester Sucks at Discord podcast. Coming to you every Thursday. We've rebranded because some domain squatter piece of shit has stolen our domain name. At least 50% of this is Netchester's fault. And also, he still doesn't know how to use Discord. Gentlemen, how are we doing this week?
You sound like you're dying.
Are you dying?
Only on the inside.
I got echo cancellation, I got noise suppression, I even switched over from normal mode to call mode. I don't understand.
Netchester.
Just doing a spooky voice because it's Halloween,
It's all Saints Day, actually.
Spooky, scary.
Oh, yeah, I suppose it is today.
We get Day of the Dead. Woo! I want some sugar skull.
I had a news thing typed up, but I can't find it. So let's just do Evolution and Crown Jewel. How about?
It's not like Crown Jewel doesn't give us enough to talk about. Let's be honest, guys.
Yep, that's true.
So wait a minute. No, we can't do that. Never mind. I was gonna say we should be the Dairy Queen drive-thru. Just call the podcast Dairy Queen drive-thru.
Ooh.
I have a feeling Dairy Queen would have an issue with that.
Yeah, I've got one. Ring.
Okay, let's...
Yes. Dude,
Nobody's using that, right?
Fuck yeah.
Kings of the Ring.
I would give so much money to a new version of Ring. That show rule.
Yo, imagine Walter in India.
Yeah. I was gonna say Steiner can still go there, but he's kind of getting old, so we need someone Steiner-like. Oh, dude. Teddy Hart in India. Just terrifying the fans, coming out in his goofy tracksuit with his cat.
He suddenly has like an army of cats.
Okay, I'm pretty sure.
Isn't that the show that brought us the Singh brothers? Isn't that basically Yeah, that's basically where they got their start. I'm pretty sure.
Yo,
I didn't know that.
Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair got 4 3/4 stars.
Well,
that match got
really?
4 3/4 stars. Really?
That was one of the better matches of that
fucking was
period. I mean, that pay-per-view was filled with a lot of crap, and that was one of the few good things.
No, it wasn't. That match was fucking a disaster. Well, I'm not gonna call it a disaster, but it was not fucking good.
I thought it was a perfectly fine match. I thought it was like in the realm of 4 stars even, but definitely not anywhere near 5. It was a lot of ways of paint by numbers, like, but it's still solid, like a solid last man standing match. It was fine, but I definitely don't like. Man, really, damn near 5. See, he's ruined his own scale. That's the problem.
Is this Meltzer we're talking about?
Yeah.
Who else would we be talking about with a star scale?
Oh, well, there are a couple other guys, but seriously, I give a lot less attention to Meltzer these days.
Anywho, welcome to the Hockey Jersey podcast.
It is. Gervshira, Harvsira, or Shira, or however it's pronounced. The Singh brothers, that's where they got their start, was on Ring Kicking. In fact, there is another current member of the WWE roster that was also on Ring Kicking. Do you know who it is?
Sean Davari.
Not on the roster, sadly.
No, wait. What's his
They
name?
called him in for the last Brutus Royal.
Eric Young. Wasn't Eric Young in Ring King?
No, he was not. Not that I. No, he was not.
The Great Khali.
No, I wish,
God
dude.
damn it.
Dude, they would have sold out stadiums.
Yeah, right?
Andrew Hackinson. Andrew Hankinson, aka Isaiah Cash, aka Doc, aka Luke Gallows, also was on that show.
Okay.
Remember when he had the name Isaiah Cash? I
No, I
do
don't.
remember.
No, I don't.
I do
No.
remember. He was. I think he had just gotten let go by WWE. Like just gotten let go, or it wasn't long after that. But yeah, that was the era when he was like wrestling the Great Uti and things like that. So he was a big deal. So yeah, a little fun fact.
Gimmick table is already taken too. Son of a bitch.
Of course they do.
How about I Know What You Did Last Stunner?
Oh, hold on, because I kind of like that.
Yeah, Ring Ka King. If you do not, for those who are listening to us that do not know what Ring Ka King, it was TNA's attempt of making a second brand that was essentially exclusively in India, and they brought over it was the weirdest roster because they brought over longtime TNA guys like Abyss and Sanjay Dutt. Sanjay makes sense, obviously, but you know, Abyss is just like, and Scott. They also brought in guys like Luke Gallows and like Chris Adonis, aka Chris Masters, who were never in TNA but had a big role there. And then they also like found local Indian talent. And that's kind of where, I mean, that's where the Singh brothers came from. And there's, I want to say, at some point in that relationship, Mahabali Shira also came from that, like them finding talent there. He was just a big jack dude that they thought they could train, and he was a TV star for them for a while. So it's like 10 shows. It's like the Indian version of Wrestling Society Act.
They were gonna do a pay-per-view, and then just they couldn't sell any tickets because, or they couldn't sell any tickets because they ended up having to drop the price so low they would have lost a shitload of money or something.
I wouldn't call it Wrestling Society X, but you're forgetting one major name that I loved on that roster. I'll give you. No, I'm not going to say Scott Steiner. Dog already said Scott Steiner.
You can say that.
The Doctor is in Dr. Dinsmore.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Eugene, aka Nick Dinsmore, had a doctor gimmick. It was so goofy.
And it was incredibly goofy, and I loved it. I loved it.
I mean, it was definitely entertaining. And yeah, there's Mahabali Shira as well. Came from that promotion too. Oh yeah, and Magnus. Who could forget? And if I remember correctly, yeah, Matt Morgan was the first champion. So that's probably kind of what killed it, let's be honest.
So, news or what are we doing here?
We're still thinking of names for our goddamn new, podcast name.
Thanks, podcastthemes.com for the theme.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, podcast themes.
We're going to play this thing and start the podcast?
No, I was saying thanks, podcastthemes.com is the name of the podcast.
Oh
my
God.
Is there a podcastnames.com?
I'm sure.
We've been like trying to think of stuff and Googling it and then finding out it already exists.
There is.
Finding out people with a similar format to us are already on the radio.
Yeah, it is. Hey guys, we could lease from $475 to $850. Excuse me, $8,500 per year.
Yeah.
One domain. Yeah, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, that fucker is just squatting on names and then
Vultures. Literal vultures.
Yeah, it's like the freaking domain goes unpaid for like a day or two, and immediately somebody fucking scoops it up. It's ridiculous.
And it's no one pays these morons. At least I fucking hope they do. And then
I'm
the
sure
domain
some
dies,
people do.
and that's the end of it. And that's why we have like, .cc and all this other bullshit that we don't.
Oh yeah, I like the new domains, but like they still don't have like completely full open custom ones where you can just go batshit crazy with names. But I've seen some very creative stuff with the current list that we have now.
I like the .space domain names because there's been some really cool like noun in .space, so like there's bots in space and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, the only thing I remember pigs in space, and that's it.
Bots in space. Do it.
How about we be .tv. So like we spell out DOTTEEVEE dot. Or why don't we just be Smark Snark .tv instead?
Right, yeah.
Because we're not on TV.
Yeah.
Well, there's like a bajillion different domains. Just scroll through one until you find one that fit.
Well, I mean, yeah, I could just buy us a .net or a .org, but
yeah, you want the .com.
I don't think you can actually buy .org. Can you?
Yeah, you can. I've had a few .orgs.
Really?
Yeah,
that's
dude.
Weird. Thought that was supposed to be only for nonprofit, or not even nonprofit.
They don't care. They'll sell it to anybody. They don't give a fuck.
Smarksnark.gov. Do it.
.gov is the only protected one, actually.
Yeah, I think you're correct about that. But networks aren't. .net isn't limited to networks, and org isn't really limited to like organizations at all.
Oh, did you guys know that? You know the old TV movie show thing where you'd have a phone number. It's a fake phone number, so it's like a 555. Apparently now they're selling a select range of those that are actually going to be real.
Cool story.
Yeah, that's it's there's going to be crazy Easter eggs or something coming from that because people don't think it's stuff it's 555 number why we call it it's fake, but it's actually real and it's Robert Downey Jr. inviting you to come eat lunch with Tony Stark or something, which sounds great. Well, it doesn't. Robert used to be a lot more Tony-like with the cocaine, It would have been fun in those days.
Yeah. Should we play the music?
I suppose. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Smark Snark podcast, episode number 324. My name is Gunner, and over there, I believe this is a gentleman who lost a bet. Hi, Omega BR.
Hey, why doesn't Robert Downey Jr. get a sponsorship with Downey?
I bet you it's happened before, and I bet you there's been some Iron Man Marvel thing to it too. Google that stuff. But by the end of the show, Omega BR is going to figure out what punishment and what T-shirt we're going to select and have him wear and post on social media. Him wearing said shirt. But we'll decide that at the end of the show. Also joining us this week is our wonderful technical producer, just wonderful, Yank of DDS. God bless his soul.
You're just being nice to me because I'm sick.
Yep, pretty much.
That and another.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Chester. Chester.
Fucking hell.
We'll pass up the little-known fact that once you have some sort of flu, it takes you about 20 weeks to get your voice back, and just say, "Hi, everybody, how you doing?"
Vassar's here this week.
I had a tooth pulled, and yeah, that's about.
At least you got to the root of the problem. Same with
I'm just gonna say killers.
I had a tooth pulled too. It was called watching the Evolution pay-per-view. Oh. By the way, I actually lied. There is a fourth person who is an alumnus of Ring Ka King who is currently signed to a WWE contract. We already know the Singh brothers, and we also know Luke Gallows. Who is the fourth?
No idea.
Someone was close earlier. It would be Arya Daivari, who teamed with the older Daivari, his brother. Yes, Sean, who is Sheikh Abdul Bashir back in the TNA days is what he was called.
Right.
With that gimmick, dude. And then, of course, they went to India and then did that same gimmick.
Right.
Because, of course, they did.
All right, we're going to get into the news here. WWE has decided to go on with Crown Jewel after Vince McMahon got word Wednesday that the decision was up to him without outside interference. Daniel Bryan is evidently more concerned with the treatment of homosexuals in Saudi Arabia than the fact that Sami Zayn was not allowed to go due to his heritage. I think he was bothered by both things equally, but say the way. And he reportedly wanted Miz to win the #1 contenders match in Australia. Hulk Hogan, brother, will now host Crown Jewel, and Renee Young will join the broadcast team.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? When did this happen?
Which one? Because the Hulk Hogan and the Renee Young announcements were both, I think, basically sometime yesterday at some point.
Oh my God, that's incredible. I can't wait to see that now.
Does he come out to the old school Hogan theme?
Yes.
He's going to come out to Real American in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I want it.
How do we avoid more controversy on our controversial show?
I think it's actually kind of brilliant because the show is already so controversial to begin with that it's an easy way to hey, everyone's already just going to be talking about how shitty the show is and how terrible everything that the government does is anyway. Let's just throw Hulk Hogan on there. Have him come back and it's not like it could get any fucking worse. And they're probably, it really could not get any worse at this point for them. So,
do they want to be investigated by the Senate or something? What are you doing, WWE?
WWE's thinking, hey, you can't boo Hulk Hogan. Let's get Hulk Hogan over there. How can you possibly boo Hulk Hogan?
There's going to be a lot of people in the crowd probably marking the hell out, though, for Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
I know I'd be one of them.
Given stuff he said and being the fact that Saudi Arabia.
Well, when it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
There's some terrible jokes I can make right now about that one, but I'm just going to keep those to myself.
Oh, come on! I T-balled that.
I alluded to it, but I don't want to make it.
I T-balled that one for you, dog.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. Bam, Bah, 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 bah. The Twin Towers fell, half of New York died.
Oh, we're going there, are we? Oh,
it's a fucking known fact that they funded the terrorists who did.
Well,
this
yes.
is not news. Everybody knows this shit. The only thing that's news now is that people care. I don't know why it's taken so long.
Well, that's what when they started killing journalists. That's when people started caring.
That's when journalists started caring. I don't. Okay, I won't go into that. Never mind.
It's
not go any
just
deeper.
the decision.
We're all offended.
The decision to do this in general is idiotic, but at the same time, it's yeah. How are they going to get out of it? If they, I don't know. It's. I'm happy I'm not making the decisions with this.
It's ugly all the way around. Randy Orton got stopped in the. Do you guys see the video of Randy Orton getting stopped in the airport?
No, what happened?
Gets stopped in the airport and he's like, I got 5 kids. I need to get paid. So they tell me to go to Saudi Arabia. I can go to Saudi Arabia.
Thus, Randy's always been like that. I'm kind of surprised he just didn't tell the person to fuck off.
It was probably TMZ or something like that.
Have you guys heard all of the different scenarios that were proposed with this whole Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles? Because there were multiple different things that happened. First of all, all the way back into the Super Show in Australia, Daniel Bryan told whoever, probably Vince and other people, he didn't want to win. He wanted Miz to win because he knew that this match was more than likely going to be booked for Crown Jewel. He didn't want any part of it. He hasn't wanted a part of this for a very long time. It's just starting to get out because it became a bigger story. So they proposed a whole bunch of different things, including at one point filming the match in front of like this. They have this ring down in Orlando that basically everything surrounding it is essentially a green screen, and then we're going to film it there and like put up the audience in the background, but not actually air it in Saudi Arabia during the show, but it was going to air over the broadcast. For the links that they've gone to try and have this match on this show are just insane. And for someone who told Daniel Bryan told him at the beginning he didn't want anything to do with this and probably was just not going to do it. Like, you're going to tell Daniel Bryan, oh, we're going to let you go from your contract. Good luck with that, motherfucker.
Just immediately hop over to wherever he wants to go.
So yeah, that is already, and I'm sure there's, and the thing with Sami Zayn is already bad enough, and their treatment of homosexuals is fucking well documented. I'm sure there's even more than that he is very much disliked.
Yeah, but the Sami thing isn't really new. They did it for the Greatest Royal Rumble also.
Well, he wasn't invited to the Greatest Royal Rumble specifically because
of his heritage.
For those who do not know, I think his parents are Syrian or something like that. That's the war that's going on right now. Here's the real question. How exactly is Renee Young going to join the broadcast?
Via satellite.
Because that's the only way I can think of is via satellite.
Yeah, I mean, she would have to do backstage interviews that are only available on the network or on streaming and not viewable to the people on the outside in the.
You mean like backstage interviews they would pre-record?
Right. They would have to be pre-recorded.
I'm pretty sure she can't even go into the stadium, can she?
Oh. I did not know this.
I don't know.
I think as long as she has Dean with her, she's fine.
Which is all sorts of fucked up.
Well, I think that she can be at the booth. She'll have to be pretty covered up. I don't think her face will have to be, but her arms and legs and everything will be.
She'll definitely have to wear some sort of head wrap. That's a guarantee. If she's there live.
Maybe they'll try to pull something like Renee, look at that. Oh yeah, that's it was a beautiful gift from blah blah blah. And
Well, of course they
Yeah,
are.
yeah, it'll be a scarf.
It's gonna be a gift from the prince.
But I thought the law was that women can't be in sporting arenas at all. But
They can, the law. Honestly, it's kind of weird because I read up on this. It's almost regional. In schools, women can compete in sports, but they're separated from the men. Um, Generally, in stadiums, they can attend, but they're also separated from the men. And there's sections for being accompanied by a man. At the Greatest Royal Rumble, the only separation they did was actually, ironically, to single men because they wanted all the families to be in the crowd.
Yeah, I remember reading about that.
It's kind of loosey goosey and willy nilly, and I think it's one of those things where it can happen, but the idea is to make them happy because, like Russian circuses and ballets have gone there before, and the women performed and they were in tight outfits, and they got mad at them killed. So, I think it's just a matter of what they want. It's almost like Vince working for another Vince, where it's like what he wants that day.
Yeah.
Jesus, sweet Christ!
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're already
controlling a Vince.
That's scary. You know what else is scary? The fact that we have to get through to pay-per-view review and pay-per-view predictions. Let's go. Hit that bell. Mind you, we didn't even get into the news of there are going to be not one but 2 all-ins next year, speculatively, and also that there is a third party that is going to come in shortly and essentially have a promotion surrounding the Elite.
That's the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, yes, my dear God.
Or his son or something? Yeah, but yeah, he's the guy who owns Jacksonville Jaguars.
Something like that, but there's pure speculation around that. That's not
Those
important.
People they probably met and people seen them talking, and that's about it. So,
let's see here. All right, let's do it. So we have Trish Stratus and Lita defeating Mickie James and Alicia Fox, to the surprise of no one.
Lita should probably not be in the ring. She was pretty slow with her sequences and very, very careful. Pretty much all the matches tonight, I felt like, well, almost all of them. It seemed like this is should be a 6-minute match and it ended up being like a 14-minute match.
And then when you have a match that's should be 20 minutes, it's only 10.
Yeah. But I thought they did a good job. I thought, nothing majorly bad happened. I thought Trish looks really good, all things considered. Like I said, Lita is obviously more limited, but it wasn't bad,
Alicia getting tossed around a little bit more than she usually does.
I liked it. I mean, I thought it was fine. Trish and Lita are going to stick around until at least WrestleMania, apparently.
Yeah, that kind of became clear because they still want to run Trish versus Alexa, and it's going to take a little bit.
I'd like to see that. I would like to see that.
Would have been cool on this pay-per-view, but outside circuit.
I love Lita to death, but yeah, her when she tried to do a version of Poetry in Motion with Trish, God, that was horrible.
It ended up being like a splash.
Yeah, you love Lita to death now, and if she fucks up in that ring once, let's not get into it. I'm just concerned for her health because I know her body cannot be great right now.
Agreed. Nia Jax won the Battle Royal.
Hey, this was fun, actually. I very much enjoyed that.
I really enjoyed this match. Everybody kind of got a spot to do something. I'm just mad that Molly Holly got dumped so early in the match.
Oh yeah, that part bit.
Really enjoyed everyone getting an entrance. I know it was in part because they underbooked this, but it did make it feel more important, and it was just It was fun. It's like, hey, Molly Holly, all right. Oh, hell yeah, Ivory. And you could get like those little pops out of the crowd. And then everyone got in the Rumble or the Battle Royal and had their moment. And everyone looked good and was well booked. It was fine.
Ivory and Carmella dancing together.
Great. Ivory, we were talking about, Lita, whose body is basically destroyed at this point and probably cannot go anymore. Ivory could probably come back tomorrow and still be just as good. She is in amazing shape.
She's been going since Glow, and she's still like just in great shape for her age.
Yeah.
Even Alundra Blaze didn't look too bad.
Yeah, she looked solid in this match. It was, considering all of the moving parts and a lot of people who haven't been in the ring in a while, it was a very well booked, one of the best battle royals they've put together in a while.
Oh yeah, that's definite. Like, I've just I haven't been so excited watching a battle royale and just being like, just slowly watching everyone I want to win get thrown out and then eventually coming down to Naya, and I'm like, oh no, they're gonna.
Yeah, that was the one part I gotta say I was disappointed in. I thought maybe Tamina, but just the idea that, and you know what, Selena at the end, that was a genuine
the Selena
surprise.
thing. Like, I would have marked so hard if Selena actually won.
Yeah, so now we got Rousey and Jax again in a program that was pretty terrible at the start, at the jump, and
whoa, wait a minute. First of all, before that, we got something else that's good, but we'll get to the bad part of Rousey and Jax later.
Whatchamacallit? We had Toni Storm defeating Io Shirai in the Mae Young Classic Final in a great match.
That probably needed.
Yeah, that was a really good match.
It was a great match, but it kind of I don't know.
It needed 5 more minutes.
Yeah, it didn't feel like the end of the match felt like the end of the match, but it's like, I heard people say it felt like they cut the middle of it out a bit just so they could fit the time.
Yeah, I don't really understand the time constraint in this match with these two.
And then they had the long celebration after.
Yeah, I get the long celebration because that makes some sense. But
it is the Mae Young Classic, but it's like you cut the match short and then you still have this long celebration. But they were trying, they did have an exact time they had to stop, but there were some other matches later on that could have not.
Well, what did they cut off the pay-per-view at 9 something
at the 30 mark, pretty much?
Yeah, they could have had time, but what I was gonna say is that it kind of undercuts all of the Toni Storm crying and how long the celebration and how grand it was and all that when the match didn't feel quite as grand. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much any Toni Storm match, or Io Shirai match, was as good or better than that match. But that was still a good match. It just I don't know. It's weird when you get these 10-minute matches that that they should probably get 15, 20.
Yeah, and I liked the match a lot, even though it made me happy at the very least.
Yeah, I was happy for Toni.
All right, moving on. It's Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya defeating the Riot Squad in a SmackDown match.
No, this was a second or third 6-man tag match, a lesser version of it from the New Japan cards, the middling one.
Yeah. But this match is Sasha Banks coming back from concussion while Alexa is concussed, and Sasha being kind of sloppy, but then isn't she always?
She's
I don't know.
Sloppy.
She kind of looked a little bit more off that night than she usually does. But she didn't really get a lot of time in the ring either. She they kind of tagged her in later in the match and had Bayley do a lot of the early.
Here's why I compare it to those New Japan tag matches. It was cool. It was a fun little match. No complaints about it. It means jack shit after the match is done. There's no meaning to any of it. It was just a fun little match on the show.
Like we've had this match like 3 other times, but with like a different fill-in for Natalya or the other team that Riot Squad is fighting.
Love the Riot Squad, but they have like no teeth.
Yeah, it's like they do that with every trio, like except for the when the Shield first started. But it's like they create this trio, you think they're gonna be dominant, and then they just get freaking beat by every single face team or whatever team they go against. Like it happened to the Wyatt family, and now it's happening to the Riot Squad. Maybe 2 T's are a curse.
Probably.
Wyatt and Riot.
Yep. And by the way, where is Bray Wyatt? Can somebody find him for me, please? Shayna Baszler defeated Kairi Sane by TKO to win the NXT Women's title. Boo!
Okay, okay. That ending sucked. And where was Candice to help Kairi? Or at least one of the rest of the NXT girls that were on the other side of the ring, sitting in the front. They just sat there and watched Kairi get, beat because, we're not going to jump the gate because we didn't get attacked either.
Yeah, the ending really killed it. What was sad about the ending is I thought they were going to do the whole arm lift gimmick, and then on the third she was going to Hulk up, for lack of a better, Kyrie up and pirate up and just beat the shit out of her and win or something. That would have been great. But instead they went with that, and now it's like painfully clear they're going to do the horsewomen gimmick, and I knew it was coming, but I am so not ready for it.
What's more than that, they changed something fundamental to a match now. Instead of 3 up with the arm and having that being the deciding factor, 1, 2, 3, like a pinfall.
It's not a fundamental change.
Somebody that they're changing. They've made that. That's kind of been a thing for a while now. Ref can call it.
Well, I know, but that is a change.
I know it was,
and it's a bad one, I think.
Yeah, I don't like that because I just like the 3-arm gimmick in general. I just think it works better with the crowd and stuff. They've been doing the whole ref can stop it if you're out and he doesn't want you to get hurt. So it's dumb. The finish sucked. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue that.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it seems safer though if like the ref just kind of calls it when the person passes out. They try to make it look more legitimate that way, but
yeah,
it's silly.
That's the intention. It's the intention on paper, and it looks kind of silly still.
By the way, there was a certain someone in Gorilla for these matches that isn't usually, especially NXT.
Ronda Rousey.
God damn it!
Yep. By submission to retain the Raw Women's title. I will get to the Becky and Charlotte Flair match next, but I just wanted to talk about Ronda and Nikki first.
Yeah, because we're going to be talking about Becky and Charlotte for like a good few minutes, and this is a shit match that I did not want to see happen. And why? Just why? Why can't we just put Ronda against somebody that's like, I don't know. I want Ronda versus Becky now, tomorrow, yesterday.
This pay-per-view, what it should have been is it should have been the culmination of Asuka's streak that continued since WrestleMania after she won the title versus Ronda Rousey and her streak after debut. Instead, it was a fucking pointless match. You knew the outcome of the match. It was not a good match because she's facing Nikki fucking Bella, who has improved but is still far below average. Depressing.
It's completely disappointing. In all
aspects. It
aspects.
should have been the semi-main, honestly.
Yeah, it should have.
Like watching this match. Yeah, but just watching this match after the Becky Charlotte match, like I had no like energy to really care. Even if there was a reason to care, I didn't have the energy to do it.
All right, Becky versus Charlotte. Thank God the right person won this match.
That was such a great goddamn match. And the pile of chairs and the ECW chants, I was laughing my ass.
Now, you guys kind of poo-pooed me, but you can see how somebody can come to the conclusion that this was the best match of the night.
Oh, yeah. They were trying to murder each other, basically, the match. And that's one of the, it's like just, even though there were a lot of like weak hits, Charlotte sells so well at the moment that you don't really notice it until they replay it, and then you're like, oh, they barely hit each other. But then again, isn't that all wrestling?
Yeah,
there was a lot of creative spots. The like the I am the table moment with the moonsault where it flipped over because it was too close to the corner, and then she just does a freaking she does a the flipping senton instead.
I really appreciate the fact. I appreciate the fact that she didn't just do the move over.
Yeah, she goes to do a different flippy move, and this time it works, and it looks brutal.
I think she realized, as I think they're starting to realize with the women now and the tables, it can work. There's plenty of people who can do it just fine, but you got to put some serious force in it.
Yeah.
Like when it's 230 to 300-pound dudes jacked to the gills, all that muscle mass, half those guys could probably jump through the tables themselves and do.
There's a reason
when it's Becky, who is maybe like 140, and Charlotte, who's like maybe 160. You got to put some serious. You can't do a moonsault with that shit. Moonsault's designed to not put the pressure down on something. That's why she did the senton.
Yeah, because like, her legs were where the most of the pressure was going. So they went off the table and it flipped it. But what was I gonna?
Chair spots were fun.
Oh yeah, like the camera angles make it look like they're getting they're just taking backdrops like head first into the chairs, and it's like, oh,
that shit looked fucking brutal.
The kendo sticks shots that just the kendo sticks not exploding like they usually do, because I don't know if they're not hitting hard enough or if it's just they're not as gimmicked anymore.
Well, it's the same thing as the tables. They're designed to be hit. They're designed to stick together when they're hitting bigger, larger, more muscly things.
Calling it now.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch, most improved superstar of 2018.
Yes.
Hey,
yes.
I wouldn't mind if she got that designation.
No, but there's a reason why ROH has those tables that are gimmicked all the hell to explode under the lightest feather of a touch. It's because they're all midgets.
That's the truth. It's just basic physics. Yeah. Gunner?
It also hurts very much, to go through the table and have that bottom rung thing on it because it's metal and it's
that metal wire thing gets caught up sometimes on people and it looks disgusting. It just looks like it hurts if you get hung up on it when you go through.
One last thing to talk about with this match: the rating from Meltz, 4 3/4, damn near 5-star match. I know he's kind of fucked up his scale in recent years, but to me that's a little bit high. But I don't disagree with the fact that it was a great match.
Best match on the card by far, in my opinion, actually, just because I probably just enjoyed watching this match more than any other match besides the Battle.
Yeah, looking back on it now, I think Matt Jester was right. It was probably the best match, although personal favorite was the Battle. The rest of it, honestly, you can just skip. Really nothing. The funny thing is, after watching this pay-per-view, and it's so historic and all this other shit, and it's so special and all the things going on with it, it felt like every other WWE pay-per-view.
I want to see the UK title match. Where's my UK women's title match? I don't care if it hasn't been freaking shown on NXT UK yet. Like, they made it a dark match, and now you're going to probably have to wait to see it for several months, even if they ever do release it. And it's a match that happened on this show.
I was going to say, dog, if there's any doubt that the women can't do what the men can do, it's gone. They can put on an okay, sometimes, sort of good, sometimes great, mostly forgettable
Mainly mediocre.
Yeah, but passable pay-per-view. I mean, it was a WWE standard pay-per-view. There were some botches, but it wasn't a flop. It wasn't a catastrophe. They did some extended matches you'd see on Raw or SmackDown, but they did them well. Everybody knew what they were supposed to do. You know, that Battle Royal, there were a lot of women going over the top and then landed on their butt on the apron, but, you know, that's neither here nor there.
Is it now? I'm not going to be see what shirt you're going to wear, can't
you?
you?
I really thought they were going to do. I mean, that's kind of a sign of the times, too, that they let them do. Because, like, every Battle Royal with women.
Right.
3 decades has been through the ropes.
Well, right, except for the Royal Rumble, when they did the Women's Royal Rumble. And it's like with this new women's revolution, you know, my bet was specifically, you know, leaning on the idea that these girls could actually work and they wouldn't, you know, essentially have to go through the ropes. They would have to go over the ropes like the guys do.
They've done Diva Battle Royals before, like.
Right, where they've gone through the.
Dude, hilarious. They go under the ropes sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think Gail Kim rolls out and eliminates herself in one of them.
Right. Like, why is that even a possibility?
But yeah.
Your good luck, I guess.
I suppose I should reveal the shirt. Should I reveal the shirt? Yeah, I'll reveal the shirt.
Do it.
All right. So I've decided that Omega BR, you must get this in women's medium.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord, I would be a women's medium and be tight on me.
I didn't know size was part of it.
Oh yeah, size was a part of it.
Yeah, dude, that was a major part of the discussion. Oh, hey, it's on clearance too.
You got to make sure that he can at least fit into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems fair.
All right. Well, all right.
Even if it's like a size smaller than he would be able to.
That's not on clearance.
Oh, it's not. It says 30% off at the top of the page.
No, that one's not.
That's 30% off clearance, but it's not on clearance.
So you have a choice then. You have a choice then. If you want a clearance one, they just added a bunch of shit to clearance. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to put these.
This is on clearance. Yeah. I finally buy it. I've been actually wanting
to be the ladies' cut. Is that
it? Yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to put these in OBS.
Oh, we're being inhumanly cruel to Omega BR on this channel.
I want that shirt. I'm not even gonna.
I'm buying the shirt actually right now because it's less than $10.
Is that a men's or a women's, or is that a unisex?
That's a women's.
They make a men's one. That isn't the men's. Just say I'm not like most though.
No. There's others. I'm not like most girls too.
Okay, that's the first one. That's the paws out, claws out, up for somebody that might stumble across this later and wonder what we're talking about.
I know this is going to make me seem goofy, but the first time I ever heard Nia Jax's theme song, I thought it's like, we're just like monsters. Am I the only one who thought that?
Thought what?
We're just like monsters. Instead of, I'm not like most girls. It was not clear in it. Speaking of monsters, let's talk about Crown Jewel.
All right, now the other one's up. That one's not bad. I mean, it says I'm not like most girls, but like it's like I would much rather maybe wear that than the paws out, claws out because.
Omega BR women's large. One of those. Go for it.
So it has to be the women's cut, but in a large.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Like I said, you gotta let them at least be able to fit into it.
Yeah.
We don't know how big Omega actually is, do we?
Omega said he was size XL guys. So
yeah, I can wear. I usually prefer a 2XL.
Wow.
Yeah, I think women's large is perfect. That's
exactly
big boys.
Big boys, and I'm a little girl. What the hell? And I'm still like 180 and smaller than most of you, probably.
Yep.
Oh,
Yankum's the only one I don't know about. Is
Yankum
actually
is small. Yankum is as small as you.
okay. So me and Yankum are the tiny ones.
I wear a 3X shirt.
Oh really?
Wait, what? I thought you were
Yeah.
skinny as fuck.
Oh man. So it's me and Shadow.
No, well, here's what it
All I can
is.
say is get off the buffet.
I've got a little bit of dad bod. I'm not gonna lie, but mostly it's that I'm one of those people that has a freakishly long torso. So while I probably could fit into a large, if I so much as shrug my shoulders, the damn thing will be up around my belly buttons. So
Yeah.
That's
I
like
know
me
you
in
are.
Japanese shirts, but I'm not super tall, so I don't have that problem.
well, I'm only 5'9" ish.
I'm 5'8", but I guess I just have long legs then.
I just I have to wear a longer shirt.
You have
And
like
plus, that's my
you have like a Michael Phelps torso.
yeah, and I'm still a product of my '90s environment, and I like to wear baggy clothes. So I can't do the skinny fucking.
Did you used to wear the Jinko jeans?
No.
Did you used to?
Yes.
Who in this chat has worn the Jinko?
I know
have,
for a
of course.
fact that my mother has, but I haven't.
Oh
I
dear
found my old
God.
shirts, actually.
I know Netchester. Well, no, Netchester's probably too old for. Netchester, you're Gen X, aren't you? You're Gen X, aren't you?
I would consider myself to be a little bit older than that, but yeah, around.
Oh, are you a boomer? Get out.
That's
No,
not
no.
generation.
No boomers.
That's not the generation that came before Gen X.
I believe he is the Pepsi generation.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, Michael Jackson in those commercials, exactly.
Love some Beppis.
We don't care about Crown Jewel because we ain't talking about it.
All right, let's just plow through this because most of these matches have already happened anyway. On the pre-show, Shinsuke Nakamura, who I'm sure massively regrets his choice at this point, versus I fucking would, versus Rusev for the U.S. title on the pre-show. On like
This
a
is
fucking
probably
4-hour show.
The only good match of the night, and it's on the pre-show. How does Vince figure this shit? I swear to.
I don't know. Styles versus Joe could go freaking pretty good, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
there's a couple matches in that World Cup, depending upon how it goes. How about Kurt Angle, Seth Rollins in the semis? That could be a damn. Anyway, who cares? We all know Knox is going to retain. Nice to see him back, too, by the way. I don't know where the fuck he went. I don't really care. Just would rather see him wrestle because he's good at that. SmackDown Tag Team titles, The Bar versus The New Day. I love the SmackDown Tag Division because it's an actual division, but I fucking hate it because they only ever push two.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts because they have a bunch of good teams, but it's only ever two teams that get the push. It's whoever holds the titles, and either the New Day or the Usos.
Isn't
Hey,
Raw
for
pretty
a while,
much
it was
the
the
same
New Day
way?
versus the Usos.
Remember Sanity?
Who?
No.
Once upon
I
a
lost my
time.
sanity a long time ago, but
Like, they have to bring in Lucha House Party from 205 Live to Raw to make the revival relevant. So they can have a flippy team
Seriously.
to be their, the people they hate. Like, what is WWE doing with their booking?
I don't know. I think that's more like 205 Live. They're starting to jettison talent from that because it's about, but who knows. Anyway, that match is the same shit as always. Who cares? Probably, who gives a shit? World Cup quarterfinal. Let's talk about this bracket. The Raw side of the bracket. Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley and Kurt Angle versus Dolph Ziggler. Bobby is replacing John Cena, who has absolutely refused to work this pay-per-view because he's smart and he has a Hollywood career, and I wouldn't buy it.
Seth over Bobby, Ziggler over Angle.
So what's the worst scenario here? Bobby versus Miz or Ziggler versus Miz?
I think Bobby versus Miz
Randy
would be a hell of a match.
Yeah, but
Bobby versus Randy Orton.
Oh god.
oh Jesus Christ, why?
Yeah, that would be
I
bad.
didn't think about how bad the Randy Orton matchups could be because I was thinking,
Dolph
Seth could
Ziggler
carry him.
versus Jeff Hardy.
Oh no.
Actually, I have a strangely curious. I want to see that match. Just two goofy high flyers that oversell and yeah, I kind of want to see that.
I
They
want
don't touch each
to
other
see
once. They bump it. They bump
Oh,
like
yeah.
a million times.
They bump a million times. Some of the most spectacular moves you've ever seen, but they never touch each other. And then Jeff wins by whiffing on a swanton.
Oh my god. Like, it's the hardest Ziggler's ever sold in his life.
Okay, predictions. Who's going to win this thing? My money's on Randy, sadly. I think they're just going to
I want somebody from Raw to win, and I want The Miz to go to the finals and lose and be fired from SmackDown. And then
I'll
go
vote
crawling to Raw to get a new job.
I'll vote for Bobby Lashley.
That's exactly what's going to happen. And I am going to vote for Rollins.
Rollins is a good pick. I want to see Kurt. It's gonna end up being Kurt versus Rollins in the.
God, I hope, because I want to see that match.
Oh.
And then
So
Rollins
that's-
ends up freaking pulling it out and winning, and yeah.
That's hands down the best possible match of this, is those two meeting the semis. So let's hope. Give me a semi.
We're getting
Styles
versus
versus-
Miz.
Speaking of things that give me a semi, remember when this shit happened in, like, I don't know, fucking 2005 TNA? It's the hottest shit in the world for the X Division title, and now 12 years later, all your EWR fantasy bookings have come true.
They absolutely have. That's the
Although
best part.
I got to admit,
probably-
I never booked a pay-per-view like anywhere overseas, but especially in the Middle East.
No, but the thing is, probably because you simmed it for so many years, it's probably close to about the year when it happened in your game.
Yes.
Yeah, could be a hell of a match. It's AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe again. We've seen it for decades, and it's always good. It'll be
Samoa Joe chokes out AJ, but Samoa Joe gets pinned again.
See, I would love to see that, but I don't think any titles are going to change hands here because
AJ needs to break the record.
yeah,
So
that
Samoa
too.
Samoa Joe wins by what you call it? AJ wins by disqualification.
That
God.
is acceptable, but would be infuriating.
Sounds like some shit they'd do. Speaking of some shit they would do, which one first? Let's just go.
Strowman versus Brock Lesnar for the vacant Universal title. I'm calling it right now. It's going to be It's going to be a no contest, and Vacant is going to retain.
I think it's gonna retain because Drew's gonna come out and claymore the both of them.
The 55-time world champion, Vacant.
I wish they would just crown Strowman and get it over with and coordinate him and let him be the guy for.
Yeah,
You don't even
because it's he has a chance now. They have a chance to actually make Braun like really, really. They could just push him as far as they want at this.
I wish they would just try. Like, even if they have it in their head, all right, he's losing the belt at the Rumble, and then the real Mania push is coming.
Even if we get like just a good few months out of him until the Rumble, that would be a fun time.
It's just 3-month title reign. It's
just him
running
running
good 3-month title,
running wild all over Raw, just beating all his opponents, being an actual fighting champion, tossing people, around like freaking ragdolls, and we'll have fun.
Here's the issue. That sounds good. It is definitely not going to happen.
Yeah.
What my fear is that Brock is going to win this, and they seem to be back into the fascination of crowning Drew McIntyre. Like, are we in 2008? Like, for real, we got Jeff Hardy versus Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton on SmackDown having matches. We got fucking like, it's just a throwback. It's weird. But
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
think
be another one of those nostalgia trips watching this pay-per-view. I don't even know what time it starts because it's in Saudi Arabia, and it's like what, like 10 hours ahead there or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
I have to look at the time
Brock,
zone.
I think Brock's gonna retain. Drew Mac's gonna beat him for it, and that's how they're gonna.
I think they said it starts at noon Eastern.
Oh god, that's 9 in the morning.
Yeah, it's
Why?
it's like middle of the day.
Because that's when it's nighttime there.
I woke up at 2 today. How am I supposed to get up at 9 tomorrow?
I'm sure we'll play it later on, but
You don't. That's key.
Yeah, you don't. You just
don't.
DX versus the Brothers of Destruction.
I'll wake up and this will be the match that's on.
Is it? I can't believe that this is the first time that they're having this match. Like, I don't buy it.
In this match, this way, yeah, this is the first time that they're having it. There's been many other configurations where all 4 men have been in the ring at the same time, but never as a 2-on-2 tag team match, basically. I'm bored already, like terribly bored. I'm falling asleep just talking about it. Someone shoot me.
Well, half of the competitors in this match are going to be falling asleep in this match.
Oh,
it's going to be how does DX work in Saudi Arabia? Are they going to walk out and they're going to be crotching their, doing the crotch chops and telling people to suck it? I just
right.
I really can't imagine that happening. So we're just going to get them. That's going to play the music, the entrance. They're going to have the glow sticks, and then
that's the thing is like, except for the crotch chops, even with the crotch chops, I'm thinking like, what does DX do that we haven't seen in 8 years that everybody's going to have a massive pop for? Like, they don't really have a double team move. They don't really have like a sequence. They don't.
You know what I mean? Their only sequence is Sean's super kick into the pedigree. That's the only thing, and it's from those.
What's going to happen?
That's their moves. I mean,
yeah, that's it.
It's going to be a spine buster, and then Sean's going to come off the top, and then Kane's going to get up, and they're going to slam him, and then they're going to point, and they're going to go you, and then Hulk Hogan's going to come out and join DX.
So is Sean gonna? Oh god! You know what?
I would mark to the moon if that freaking happened.
Of course,
we'll get a DX to close the show. That might be a distinct possibility.
Oh, I'm disgusted by this.
By the way, does Sean wear a do-rag in the match, or does he just let it all?
Yes.
Does he just let it all hang out?
It's going to be a do-rag, and it's going to fall off in the middle of the match.
Everyone makes such a big deal about him being bald. Does anyone remember what his hair looked like in 2010? He was well on his way, dude.
He was well on his way, yes, and he couldn't fight it anymore.
He made the right choice.
I agree.
Look at what happens when you get skullet.
I'm gonna make the right choice here too.
Look at what happens when you get a skullet. You turn into Hulk Hogan, and then you host this shit show. I can't believe they have him as the fucking host of this show. I know we already talked about it, but it's still just. Can I really just drive that home?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. You can make it come crashing down and hurt inside. This hurts inside too much. Dairy Queen drive-through time. That's Vassar with the ratings.
Oh, I was still scrolling through the t-shirts on clearance because I need more tank tops. Anyways, going on to the ratings, it is starting off with Impact. It's 98,000 viewers. Oh my god, down from 189,000.
Jesus.
How do you half your viewership in a week?
That's just called being TNA.
It's because they got moved to 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah, the time slot change. We talked about that last week, and I completely forgot.
More girls
onto Raw.
Water.
Yeah, and onto Raw, 2.472 million, down from the 2.548 million the week previous, and finally with SmackDown with 2.110 million, up from the 2.087 million the week previous, and that is it for the ratings.
Dog with the birthdays.
Alrighty. Here we go. Happy birthdays tomorrow to Mike Davis and Chip. And then on the 3rd, happy birthday to the one and fucking only legend in 2 sports, both pro wrestling and football, a true GOAT, like a founding father of wrestling, Bronco Nagurski, the GOAT, one of the greatest of all time. If you've never watched a Bronco Nagurski match, just go back and watch him. He was years ahead of his time. Also, William Chase Tatum, Robert the Bruce, Ivan Cormier, Gojo Kovacevic, Ambrose Rasher, and Robbie Rage all having birthdays on the 3rd as well. And then on the 4th, happy birthday to Pac Song, to Larry Cameron, to Everett Marshall, to Tom Renesto, to Marcus Awesome, and to Ed Schumann. Then on the 5th, happy birthdays to Ted Tanabe, Annabelle, Renato Torres, Hans Kampfer, and Matthew Ball. Then on the 6th, happy birthdays to Tony Rumble, to Yaki Joe, and to Liu Kim the Mongol. Then on happy birthdays to John Paul Henning, also to Alex Kasaboski and Joe Gunther. Gunther, probably is how it's pronounced. Then on the 8th, happy birthdays to Sterling Blake Davis and to Ilio Di Paolo. Those are the birthdays. Go. Bronco Nagurski, greatest gopher of all fucking. And a great Minnesotan, too.
And now it is time for This Week in Wrestling with Omega BR.
Oh, I knew I forgot to do something. Give me a minute.
This week in wrestling.
While he takes his minute, I would like to just say a little thank you to the one, the only Lethal Larry Cameron of Stampede Wrestling, one of the best heels that organization ever produced. And this is an organization that produced fucking Muck and Sing, for God's sake. An amazing heel. Larry Cameron, one of the best big man bodybuilder type, kick you in the ass and smile and then take your girlfriend. He's just amazing. Give a shout out to him. Okay, Omega, is that enough time?
Ramble some more, will you?
Okay. While we're on the subject of monster heels and Stampede Wrestling, why not give a shout out to the one, the only, the leader of Karachi Vice, Mucka Singh, with his partner in crime, Gamma Singh, and his brother from another mother, Vulcan Singh. They had the best group of heels in a heel stable that fought against the Hart Mafia, as the good guys were known. For some reason, they were the Mafia. But they were an incredible group of heels, and they did the most incredibly ahead of their time things. I remember once the whole group in fake masks just sat by the ring during one of the main event matches, and literally nobody knew who these crazy goons were. They, face covered and all that sort of stuff. They did nothing. They said nothing. They interacted with nobody. And all of a sudden, when the Hot Mafia wins their main event match, bingo, bango, bongo, here come these men in masks rubber masks invading the ring, and nobody could have known that it was the Karachi Vice. So, Karachi Vice, here's to ya. Mucka Singh, here's to you. Okay,
I think we should.
I'm out of breath.
Should make this a regular feature. Here's to you with Netchester.
Yeah, I could try that.
No.
We finally give him a spot after all these years.
Hey, hard work and perseverance.
This week in wrestling history, circa 1998, WWF first taped the first episode of their short-lived Lucha Libre show called Super Astros, the Frank Irwin Center in Austin, Texas. Matches saw Armando Fernandez defeat Scott, aka Scotty Too Hotty, and El Hijo del Santo defeat Super Loco. Jump to 2003, where Jay and Mark Briscoe defeat Special K, a team of Izzy and Dixie, Elizabeth, New Jersey, to win the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. And in 2005, WWE held their Taboo Tuesday pay-per-view on a Tuesday, headlined by John Cena versus Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels. Michaels was voted into the match above the Big Show and Kane. And that was this week in wrestling history.
They need to bring that gimmick back. Taboo Tuesday.
That'd be
dude, that one was really good.
They have some. Of all the dumb gimmick pay-per-views, that was always my favorite because it was just so goofy. And bring back, since you already got Coach back, you can have him back in that. Remember that like little center that they had set up right next to the stage? It's like supposed to be a little newsroom or whatever. Yeah. Bring that back too and update.
How about
give him like a moving screen.
Sunday night tweet where you tweet your vote.
Hey, there's an idea. That's a good idea.
No. Just say whatever it is and not have a poll to follow anything.
It'll be Tuesday tout.
Oh, he's right.
Tuesday tout. Make sure you tout. Everybody tout. Tout's totally still a thing, right?
You know,
tout. Had it all out.
They actually had a chance, didn't they? When Vine.
Yes, they did. But you know what it is? It's Tuesday night TikTok.
Oh, Jesus Christ Almighty!
Tuesday TikToks. That's what it is.
Okay, we need to stop.
Happy trails to Ty Dillinger, who needs hand surgery on his dominant left hand. Corey Graves stole my joke. He arranged it counting. Happy trails to Ronda Rousey, who topped the PWI Women's Top 100 list for 2018. What should we watch this week in wrestling? Oh, you know I'm going to call on you, Vassar.
Noam Dar versus Zach Gibson from the NXT UK doubleheader on Halloween. That fucking match. Like, Noam Dar getting time, having a hell of a match with Zach Gibson, and then a standing ovation at the end from the crowd. It just feels good to see that.
Net Jester.
Okay, I'm going to easy out this one because I didn't see too much wrestling and I'm still deciding whether or not to re-up my WWE Network subscription. So I'm just going to go with the one that was the best out of Evolution, which we've all pretty much agreed is Charlotte versus Becky for the SmackDown Women's title. Watch that again, and I am shocked at the actual amount of physical pain that these two women put each other through in this match. It was amazing.
I swear both of them are probably concussed after that match, but yeah.
Oh, Mega BR.
I'm sure he's giving a very elaborate and beautiful description of a match right now, but can't hear it.
I had to smack my headphones because I thought they quit on me.
No, I just had my finger on the button while I was trying to think.
I believe
yeah, it'll be available. I tell you what, go on Fight TV on the next couple of days and buy the Chris Jericho Rock and Wrestling package that shows the Alpha Club versus Bullet Club or the Elite or whatever they're called now. I heard that was a killer match. And there were several other good matches as well.
So this is the pay-per-view in of essence from the Chris Jericho crew.
Yeah, basically. They said some things. I don't know if it's on the broadcast or not, but I know that Jay Lethal and Johnny Impact have agreed in principle to an Impact champion versus ROH.
An Impact versus ROH match, yeah.
Yes, we've heard that rumor going around too. Hope definitely it happens. I want to see this match.
I haven't heard a lot of details from the crews, which apparently that was by design because allegedly they didn't have internet, and also they were
Allegedly. I've seen so many tweets.
Well, I mean, everybody's got internet if you've got 4G, but
yeah, like anytime they were in port somewhere,
yeah, I mean, well, you know what I mean. They must not have had Wi-Fi or whatever. But anyway, that Jericho kept saying he didn't end up doing it, but he wanted to for the event to prevent spoilers.
Sam's dog. What should we watch this
week? I unfortunately cannot find the NWA Championship match between Bronco Nagurski and Lou Thesz. I wish I could. If you can find it, watch that. But what I did find on YouTube about some wrestling from nearly a century ago. Jim Londos versus Bronco Nagurski. Just look those two. Londos, Londos. Look that match up. Go watch some wrestling from almost 100 years. And go watch Bronco Nagurski be the fucking man. By the way, he's got a banner up in the Gopher Stadium. His number is retired. Because he's the man. Yeah.
Oh, Sane versus Baszler, because until they decided to give that match a shit ending, everything about it was good, and it was everything that is good and right in women's wrestling, and then that ending was a spectacular piece of shit that damn near negated all the good things they had done previously.
I'm disappointed in all of you for not taking the thing that I'm going to suggest. SmackDown, the tag team title match. The Halloween match.
The trick or street fight.
Yes, trick or street fight with the New Day cosplaying as dressing up as the fucking Brood. Get fucked. That was the best thing this week. Oh my god.
That was incredible. I laughed my ass off. It was incredible.
Meh.
It was great, dude.
Could have done without.
Dude, it was exactly.
Although the only thing that I'm curious about is what does it feel like to bump on a pumpkin? Does it hurt or does it make it soft?
No, it
depends on how much of the pumpkin is scooped out. It still hurts like hell. I've gone through a pumpkin.
It hurts. I guess that's it for this week. Thank y'all for listening. We really appreciate it. Check us out online, Facebook, Twitter. Follow us, subscribe, YouTube. So we're going to go over with a brand change here shortly, just so y'all know. We haven't decided on a name yet, but when we do, you'll be the first ones to know. So thank y'all for listening. Take care.
Hey, Gunnar, trick or treat.
Trick or treat?
No, you're supposed to pay. So you can't pick both.
Smell my feet, bro.
That match sucks.
Good night, North Park.